Welcome to your Warriors. We have a major update hosted by the one and only Isaiah Foji. Major update: Steph Curry's on the way back. The Warriors are actually losing ratings, and the Draymond situation is as it stands. He's a Warrior for life, and we've shown at the trade deadline. Now, before we get into it, be sure to make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get straight into the show. Again, the major update: Steph Curry is now they have a timeline and a trajectory they put him on to be able to ramp him up to get him back to playing. Now he obviously won't be available for the Minnesota Timberwolves game tomorrow, but Steph Curry is back, and as we know, the gravity and how he raises the team's floor is integral to the Warriors' success. His ability to make plays, his ability to knock down some threes that they need, and thank God LJ Cryer has been a revelation in that department. And so we can expect great games from Cryer. We can expect great games from Guy Santos as we go up to Minnesota to play them tomorrow at 10. And so, 10 p.m. Eastern anyways. And so as you look at the Warriors versus the Timberwolves, talent-wise, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the West, and we're looking at a playing spot, which doesn't matter. Like, look, y'all could be the best. We could be the worst. We're going to line up and play basketball. But the point is, when talent doesn't match up schematically, you have to somehow smart that. And that's just playing the Warriors' brand of basketball. Cutting, running, jumping, getting these quick slips and dunks and making some timely threes. So those things are going to be very key going into the game tomorrow. This matchup should be a litmus test. It should serve as a litmus test for the franchise. The best team in the West, one of the best teams. They're going to come out slinging hot. I mean, at this point, the Timberwolves is simply just they got their stakes in the ground. Let's ride these last few games of the season out for the playoffs. So what I think will happen in a lot of the players on the latter part of the rotation, from there to Bones Highlands, to Terrence Shannon Jr.'s, those guys are going to be getting some spot minutes. Ayo Dosunmu, who just got traded from Chicago. The point, what the Timberwolves are trying to do, they're trying to just kind of ramp up the not so consistent rotational guys and seeing who's going to do what. Because as you know, in the playoffs, trust is everything. You have to be trusted by the staff to be able to get some type of viable time in the playoffs. So what they're going to do is going to use those guys, because at this point in the season, the changing, like, what is it going to change if you lose to Warriors? I mean, you always want to win every game you can, but in this long season, man, sometimes you got to take some losses just to kind of keep your main guys, your heavy load guys, fresh. I mean, this game is going to be about Ant just going to be working on his spots, seeing where can he get to manipulate the defense, and it's going to be the Terrence Shannon Juniors and those guys who are getting consistent minutes in the rotation. They're going to be playing a lion's share of the game, which I think because everyone's going to try to see, okay, how does this guy do? As we get closer to the end of the season, the rotation shortens. It shortens in the postseason. So don't expect the Timberwolves to pull out their heavy stuff. They're just going to be playing good basketball. If they get the win, cool. That's always a plus to get the win. But they're also thinking long term. Ant's going to get minutes, but it's not going to be all the way there because, we got to save him for what's important. We damn near about to almost win the West. Like, we have a great chance in the West. So let's do our thing. Let's make sure we don't lose too many games and alter our seeding because, that seeding determines a lot. The biggest thing for that game is the Warriors just to play as much as possible. They'll get into a play-in situation. So they should use this opportunity to work out whatever kinks they have, get guys shooting, get guys who aren't really in the rotation, get them some minutes to see what they can do. Because as you know, in the playoffs, the rotations are important. And, there's always questions about Steve Kerr and his rotations and how he decides to bring guys in and out. So it's going to be a litmus test on both ends to see who's going to work what rotation and how they're going to go about that. Second important thing, we also know the Warriors have been known to increase ratings wherever they go. They were the NBA's cash cow for years. That franchise is now way more valuable than they were before the dynasty years. And it's turned itself into a pretty big market. But funny enough, as of late, the Warriors ratings have been going down. A downward trajectory due to performance, due to not the buzz being there. As we know, the Dynasty Warriors had one of the biggest buzzes in the world. They were simply just too good for anybody else, and you almost couldn't match that. You know what I mean? Like the Warriors are just those guys, and it was hard to match that. It was hard to match that intensity. It was hard to bring that attention anywhere else. And they were rock stars. They would play games in LA and have to fly to Boston because it's nationally televised, and they were flying across the country. And that's what most people don't understand about when you're the NBA's cash cow. Oh, they're gonna milk every ounce of milk about it. They're gonna milk you for whatever you have because there's money to be made with the Warriors. But now it seems like they're on a downward trajectory as far as the ratings. The organization's probably lost a lot of juice. I mean, you talk about Dunleavy getting in, Bob Myers leaving, Steph is on his way out, Dre is on his way out, and they understand that, and that's scary because when you've been on top for so long, the downslide is never as graceful for everyone. Like sometimes we know how Kobe went out, we know how Michael Jordan went out. We still have yet to see how LeBron's going to go. So it's interesting to see how that changes things. It's no longer, I wonder, is it one of the hotter free agent markets? I'm not sure. I mean, it was just the allure of what the Golden State Warriors were. The Bay Area, Steph Curry, the new regime is shooting so many threes, Silicon Valley, investors, private equity, fintech. Like the Warriors was such a base. And to see their ratings go down is worrisome. And a lot of it is due to basketball performance. So hopefully at some point things can change and the Warriors can get on top. It'll start with the draft. It'll start with picking who's going to be your next guy because no one knows who the next guy after Steph is. So, of course, when you don't have must-see TV on your team, you can't expect the ratings to be through the roof. There's just not a whole lot of must-see TV on that team. There's no one star. I think they were grooming Podziemski to be the star. Many people don't see it. We could be wrong because no one thought Steph would be who he is. But the uncanny ability that you can't quantify with any other player other than Steph Curry is interesting because you just can't get it anywhere else. And with Steph on a downturn, and he obviously been out some games, so that probably plays a role in the ratings going down. But when Steph Curry get back to basketball, all is well in the world. And last but not least, Draymond. And Draymond hasn't been traded during the deadline, so they've committed to Draymond being a Warrior for life. They've committed for Draymond to be a Warrior for life, and people don't understand how powerful that is on the fact that the Warriors have committed to him, through all the times, through the fights, through the bad playing. I mean, he's not exactly the franchise guy or someone you lean on offensively, but just they've committed to him, and that's that no matter what you say. And he's on the coattails of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. He's been an integral part of that franchise for as long as it's been built. And I can honestly say he's built that there would be no dynasty without Draymond. He sacrificed a lot of who he was for the betterment of the team. There you have it. Your Warriors. Isaiah Fold, you sure to like, comment, subscribe, and you all have a great night. See you soon.